Okay, so I decided to give Exo One a try, based on it looking like it was going to involve piloting a flying saucer. Up until that moment I looked at this game, I never realized how much I wanted to pilot a flying saucer, and I couldn't recall another game where I was given such an opportunity. Well, this is a weird one, and I'm having a hard time simplifying Exo One's gameplay into a genre. A flight sim? A racing game? An obstacle course runner? You want to get your craft to the finish line laser launcher. What you want to call the genre is up to you. You'll be piloting what I can best describe as a marble that transforms into a flying saucer. Controls are basic, but totally different than any game that I've ever played. You have your normal 4 directions, an accelerator, a double jump, and a glide button. But the accelerator, instead of moving you forward, activates a gravitational pull, sending you downward. It takes a little getting used to, but to build up momentum, you want to use the pull going downhill, and if you try using it going uphill, you will quickly get sent back downward, breaking all forward momentum. Your marble saucer will build up a charge doing this, allowing you to use your flying saucer glider mode for a limited period of time. After using up your charge, you will transform into marble mode again. There are a few other ways of filling your glider battery, like flying through clouds and being electrified by lightning. I'm not exactly sure how rain charges a battery, but maybe it's best not to overthink this. Overall though, the controls are pretty easy to learn, and once I was able to break the accelerator moves forward mentality, I actually enjoyed piloting this morphing craft. I really enjoyed the general aesthetic of this game too. I really dug the lighting effects and the spacey graphics. There is definitely a chill, whimsical atmosphere to Exo One, and each planet's unique climates and geographies were entertaining. Now, I can appreciate a chill game. I mean, I've surprised myself with how down I am with simulation games. And as much fun flying and catapulting your craft around could be, the levels were just way too long. I get it, planets are big and barren, and maybe that is what the game makers wanted the players to get a feeling for. But after a few minutes on a level, I would feel my stimulation levels plummeting, staring at that blue beam in the distance. And instead of being in the moment, taking everything in, I was ready to move on and get the level over with. There was just too much dead space, and just a whole lot of nothing to do with it, which gives the game a very incomplete feeling. While there are a few power-ups to find, Exo One could have used a few more goals, instead of go towards the end light in a mostly straight line. The story was unclear, and the narrative tried too hard to be unique, that instead it just confused things further. The game has something to do with Jupiter, possibly losing crewmates there, and I think going back to save them, yet for whatever reason, the pilot is sent to a bunch of different planets trying to get back there. The story is told through flashbacks, but only at most a handful of lines of dialogue at a time, most of which aren't even complete sentences. So outside of giving you a basic outline of thoughts, there wasn't much there. And speaking of the dialogue, it was creepy hearing these people speak in just gibberish syllables. I don't understand what purpose there was to gain not just having the lines said out loud. I was digging through the footage from my playthrough and heard the dialogue again. Then I realized, it actually sounds like people talking, just reversed. And sure enough, upon reversing the playback, it was just that, people talking. But they added a ton of effects to some of it, which distorted actually hearing what was being said. I'm still not sure why they decided to do this. And I'm not going to go back through reversing all the dialogue to find out if it helps hammer out the story any better.
Ballanfound was exactly the opposite. The first trip lasted days, and unfortunately the worst was yet to come.
Procedures killed power. Test speed achieved. We must make the energy rating. Emergency shutdown procedures killed power.
Exo One took me just under 3 hours of gameplay to complete, and I'm glad it was so short because I didn't feel like I was going to get too much more playtime out of it. I don't want to say it was a bad game, it just felt unfinished and bare bones. Almost like a proof of concept that had a great idea for game mechanics, but didn't know how to fully realize a final product out of it. And the craft is fun to pilot, so maybe they can flesh out more gameplay out of these mechanics in the future. Overall, the novelty of this game makes me want to recommend it, but how quickly this novelty wore off makes me hesitant too. Maybe I can sum it up with an analogy. Cotton candy tastes great, but it isn't going to satiate your hunger. Thanks for watching.